आतंकवादियों ने हमला बोल दिया है।
A very good evening, respected guests, dignitaries, executive board members, delegates, and my fellow members of the Secretariat. Today is indeed a momentous day in the history of Meghalaya Model United Nations, as we gather here for the closing ceremony of the 4th Meghalaya Model United Nations International Conference, Shillong 2023. What you've seen in the past 3 years is an outcome of the hard work and dedication that was put in over a period of 4 months by each member of the Secretariat. As promised, we hope you had an ethereal, life-changing, and memorable experience. 6 years ago, when we started Meghalaya Model United Nations, we hadn't fathomed that one day we will be able to host 700 delegates. And this year, we have hosted our largest and grandest conference ever. The Meghalaya Model United Nations is recognized by the United Nations Information Center for India and Bhutan, being the only MUN conference in the state and the second in Northeast India to have been recognized by the UN Information Center for India and Bhutan. And we have the rights to use the logos of the United Nations. We are proud to have received a letter of support and blessings from the United Nations and a permission to use their logos. The conference will also be a part of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees MUN Challenge, thereby adding more value to the delegates' experience. The support that we have received is a testament of the hard work that we have put in. This year, we are lucky to have received the support from the Chief Minister's Office, the Department of Sports and Youth Affairs, the DCs from all the 12 districts of Meghalaya. It has been because of their unwavering support that we have been able to achieve all that you see today. If you light a lamp for someone, it will also brighten your path. I now request our chief guest, dignitaries, and members of the Senior Secretariat to light the lamp. Mr. Meshwa Kupar Mautho has been a backbone of this organization. It is his dream that we are all living today. I now request our founder president to welcome the gathering.
Good evening, delegates. Good evening, delegates. Why do I have to start so loud all the time? Once again, good evening, delegates. A very good evening to all of you present here, to our Honorable Minister of Education, sir, Mr. Rakam A. Sangma, to the Commissioner and Secretary of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, Mr. Andrew Simon, sir, to the Director of the Directorate of Sports and Youth Affairs and Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya, Mrs. Isa Wanda Ma'am, IAS, to the Head of Department of Law, NEHU, Professor J.J. Molska Ma'am, to the Advisor, Education, Government Meghalaya, Mr. H. Himalaya Shangpliang, sir, and to all the dignitaries present here today, and to all of you delegates. It has come to the culmination of 3 days of rigorous discourse, debate, and discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have dared to disrupt the status quo. We have dared to question the various issues and agendas that plague our society today. And dear delegates, you have become champions. And as I welcome all of you to this occasion today, to the final plenary session of the 4th Shillong edition of Meghalaya MUN, the largest MUN of Northeast India. Delegates, remember that you are a beacon of hope, you are a beacon of light, and wherever you go, may you carry this message that the delegates of Meghalaya MUN are ambassadors of peace. That the delegates of Meghalaya MUN are ambassadors of the earth. That the delegates of Meghalaya MUN are the ambassadors of the downtrodden of the society. I always say this in all of my speeches. When you are more fortunate, do not build bigger walls, but build stronger bridges. And as you go out from here, delegates, as we declare the end of this conference, remember, delegates, that it is your role and your duty to educate each and every single person you meet on the way, starting from your families to your friends. The world needs us more than ever. The power of young people should be seen now more than ever. In a world full of chaos, in a world in which the status quo has never been questioned, it is time for us young delegates to rise up to the challenge and disrupt the status quo. Are you with me, delegates? Yes, sir. We shall disrupt the status quo, shall we or not? Yes, sir. And may you not mistaken those who are here with us. This is not a negative term. This is a very positive term for us. We do not mean to be anarchists, but we mean to disrupt the current state where young people are just happy with whatever comes to them. We're here to challenge as a community of the current status, that I can do it and I can challenge it and I will do it. Dear delegates, this may be the end of an epic journey, but the beginning of a great saga. And delegates, today I welcome all of our plenary speakers and our chief guests, who are achievers in their own respective fields, and listen to them and grasp as much as you can. For when a day shall come, and a dream that I have, that maybe in one of the future convocations or the future conferences, some of us would be on this side as well. Delegates, throughout your life, throughout the challenges you have, delegates who have been in my committee have known this, and I say this all the time. If you see a wall in front of you, if you cannot break that wall in front of you, climb over it. Make a rope and climb over it. Delegates, as I wish you all goodbye, I'm going to make it very short, as I know it's been a long 3 days. We've lost sleep together. We've debated and argued together in committees. Maybe we have some grudges already to solve in the next MUN as well. And maybe better food will come as well. And I know you're all hungry as well. So, delegates, just give me one promise. Will you all give me a promise today? Yes, let's say it together. I can. I will. I shall. Disrupt the status quo. Thank you so much, everyone.
It is our pleasure to have with us our chief guest for the day, Mr. Rakam A. Sangma, Honorable Minister of Education, Government of Meghalaya, Ms. Isawanda Lalu, IAS Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya and Director, Sports and Youth Affairs, Professor J.J. Mozika, HOD, Department of Law, Dr. Andrew Simons, Commissioner and Secretary, Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, Professor Indrajit Dubey, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, and Mr. H.M. Shanklyang. I would now like to request our President, Mr. Meshwa Kupar Mautho, to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Rakam A. Sangma. I would like to request our Executive Director to felicitate Mr. Andrew Simons. I would like to request our Secretary General, Ma'am Katrina Nonkenry, to felicitate Ma'am Isawanda Lalu. I now request our Director General, Ankita Sharma Bordoloi, to felicitate Ma'am J.J. Mozika. I now request our Chef Cabinet, Mr. Same Lingra, to felicitate Mr. H.M. Shanklyang. Professor J.J. Mozika's work in the field of law is commendable. She has made significant contributions to the field through her teaching and research. Her dedication to her work has made a positive impact on the lives of many. I would now like to request ma'am to address the gathering.
A very good evening to everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, Shri R.A. Sangma, Minister of Education, Government of Meghalaya, Srimati Isa Vandalalu, Commissioner IAS, Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya, and Director, Sports and Youth Affairs, Dr. Andrew Simons, Commissioner and Secretary, Meghalaya Legislative Assembly. The Vice Chancellor of NLU Meghalaya was supposed to be here, but it seems that he is on his way. So I don't know whether I should address him right now or maybe at some later stage. Professor Indrajit Dubey. Mr. Meshwar Kupar Mautho, President, Meghalaya Model United Nations, other members of the MUN, Ms. Katrina Nongkinri, the Secretary General. I remember the name of Ritvik Bhuya, who is the Executive Director of the Meghalaya Model United Nations, and the other members of the MMUN. My colleagues from the university, Dr. A.K. Singh from our department, Shri H.M. Shangfliang, Chief Advisor. I'm really sorry to disrupt the status quo over here. Dr. A.K. Singh, my colleague from the department, other colleagues from the university, delegates from different parts of the country and outside the country. We have been informed that there are delegates from Bhutan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The most important part of this conference are the participants, and without whom this conference would not have been possible. So a very warm evening to all of you. It is truly an honor and a privilege for me to stand before you as Head of the Department of Law, NEHU, and to address the distinguished gathering at the closing ceremony of the 4th conference of the Meghalaya Model United Nations. The theme of this conference, Disrupting the Status Quo, the Gen Youth Era, resonates deeply with the challenges and opportunities that our world presents to the youth of today. We are very happy to have offered the venue to the MMUN for organizing this grand event. It has been a learning experience for our students also. Our students, around maybe more than 50 of them have helped the organization as volunteers. Many of our students have also participated in the program as delegates. And so I'm indebted to the MMUN for having chosen NEHU as the venue for this program. We have been supporting programs like this, we at NEHU, and it's because of the exchange, because of the result or the consequence that we gain from such kind of conferences. It's a learning experience for all of us. And I was very overwhelmed by the vibrant participation of the delegates representing the Generation Z of the society today. It was a very happy experience to see, as we see so many young faces with twinkles in their eyes, with happy faces. They have all, I think you all must have made friends. You all are from different parts of the Northeast and other parts of the country and elsewhere. You all must have interacted with each other, must have made friends with each other, and that is going to be carried on for, I think, the rest of your life. You will carry on with this friendship that you must have developed. Some untoward experiences must also have been there. If there have been some discomforts that you have experienced in the course of the 3 days, I would like to apologize on behalf of the university and the department. The theme of this conference reflects the urgency of the hour. In the course of the last 3 days, we have been discussing that the status quo has failed to address the contemporary issues and more importantly, issues like climate change, economic disparities, social justice, and geopolitical issues. As the custodian of tomorrow, you, the youth, will have to come forward, and you will have to take a leading step in disrupting the status quo and trying to make the world a better place to live in. You must make efforts through your innovative ideas, through your hard work, through your experiences, personal experiences that you have in your life to change the status quo and to make the world a better place to live in. In the Department of Law, we have been fostering individuals in our own way, change makers in our own way. We understand that law is a potent weapon of bringing about change in the society, and we have been nurturing our students to question whatever is in existence. So that spirit of inquiry and spirit of questioning we try to develop within the department amongst our students. And I think that is one way in which our department is contributing to bringing about change that is much needed in today's society. Now, we have had a very inspiring conference, and I urge you all to carry forward the spirit of collaboration and inquiry and hard work that you have demonstrated during the course of the last 3 days. Everyone, the world needs your energy, your spirit to bring about changes, to build a better tomorrow. Now, before I close, I would like to share a very particular and a very important, encouraging experience or observation that I have seen during the course of these 3 days. There was minimal use of plastic. There was minimal use of plastic. It was only today I saw one of the dustbins full with about 20 plastic bottles. Otherwise, there were no plastic bottles used. So I appreciate that, and I congratulate the organizers for having. Thank you. In closing, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the organizing committee, the dedicated volunteers, the mentors, and most importantly, the participants who have invested their time, energy, and intellect in making this conference a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those inspiring words. Dr. Andrew Simons is a highly accomplished individual with a diverse range of roles and interests. He holds positions as an additional secretary and commissioner and secretary at the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, as well as the secretary of the CPA India Region Zone 3. His accomplishments and hard work are a testament to his unwavering dedication. I would now like to request Sir to address the gathering.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank MUN for inviting me to this closing ceremony. I would like to welcome Sir Rakam, Education Minister, Madam, my colleague, Madam Isabel Lalu, Madam Muzika, who was also my teacher, and I'm very pleased to see her today. Sir Bahima Champlian, Advisor to the government, and all the delegates from the different parts of the country and from other countries as well. I could learn, I mean, there are some delegates from Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh. Right. Now I'll come straight to the point. Your theme is on, the theme of the conference is Disrupting the Status Quo, the Generation Youth Era. Well, this is very, I would say, I mean, it's a very challenging stand to take. I mean, to change overnight anything is not possible. I mean, we change come with times, and we have to engage with the government, with the relevant departments. We are living in a system of parliamentary democracy. We have to engage with the youths. I know, I mean, the youths are looking for opportunities, I mean, looking for guidance. So these are some of the basic issues which are the issues that the youths have. And I'm sure with the guidance of the respective departments of the government, we'll be able to choke out some of the opportunities that they were looking forward or to shape in their career. Because I believe everyone is gifted with some talent. It's only how to sharpen your talent. And I believe with times and with hard work and sincerity, these will eventually lead to your success in life. I could also see that MUN has been associated with the UN. Well, every country, or for that matter, every state or country has its own challenges. I mean, there are multiple problems, multiple challenges, and which is quite difficult for the government of the day to solve some of the problems, because we have to take into considerations some of the emotive issues, the language, the culture, and the practices that they follow. So these are some of the factors which we have to take into consideration. And MUN is something like, since I'm from the Legislative Assembly, we recently had a conference on Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference of the speakers and deputy speakers of the Northeastern region. So the theme of the topic was on the natural disasters and the management which the government has to take from time to time. And one is on the connectivity with the mainland India. So these are some of the topics which I feel will be relevant for us, Northeast India. And yeah, I mean, assimilation or having together all of us in this platform will help us share our ideas, our thoughts, and take forward in our goal and approach. And as far as the UN is concerned, like we could see, I mean, the UN has multiple problems. You have the United Nations Disarmament and International Security Committee. Then you have the United Nations Continuous Crisis Committee, the Drugs and Crimes, the UN Commission for Refugees, UN Human Rights Commission, and so on and so forth. I mean, so these are multiple problems which the UN also has to face from time to time. So I'm sure, I mean, with this gathering and with the support of MUN, all of you will be able to come to sort of an understanding and try to come to a point where you can have a discourse and discussion, like an interactive session between the experts in a certain particular field with the students, which I feel will be more helpful, where you have question and answers on the particular subjects or topics which you have in mind. I'm sure that will be more helpful. For example, in the Legislative Assembly, we have different committees. So like when you talk about empowerment of women, we have the Committee on Empowerment of Women. So now we discuss about the climate change, which is a very important hot topic, which is being discussed all over the world. So we have the Committee on Environment. So we have the elected representatives, I think, whom you can suggest and give ideas or how to move forward in certain areas or in the fields which you feel the government should take. So suggestions and advice from the public, especially young students, are always welcome to the assembly committees. So these are the few ideas which I would like to share with all of you, and I look forward for further interaction with the MUN from time to time, and I'm sure, I mean, with having such kind of gathering, you'll be able to shape your career and guidance in the years ahead. With these few words, I would like to thank everyone who have come from all parts of the country. Thank you. On behalf of the speaker, Mr. Thomas A. Sangma of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, I would like to present a memento to the MUN. I will call Mr. Mauto and Guyan.
We have in our midst today Professor Indrajit Dubey, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Meghalaya. I would now like to request our Executive Director to felicitate Mr. Indrajit Dubey. Ma'am Isawanda Lalu, IAS, has held key roles like the Deputy Commissioner in Southwest Khasi Hills and East Khasi Hills District. As the Director of Sports and Youth Affairs, her commitment to the community, progress, and youth involvement shines prominently. I would now like to request Ma'am to address the gathering.
Very good evening to everyone present here today, respected Minister in charge Education, Government of Meghalaya, Shri Rakam A. Sangma Sir, respected Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Meghalaya, Shri Indrajit Dubey Sir, Commissioner and Secretary to the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, Mr. Andrew Simmons, Advisor to the Government of Meghalaya, Mr. Himalaya Shampliang, who is with us, Madam Muzika, HOD of the Law Department, Nehu, Founder, President of Meghalaya Model United Nations and all its officials and office holders on the dais, Meshwa, Ritwik, Catherine, whom I've had the honor on several occasions to work with and to work closely, all faculty members of Nehu, associated partners of this Model United Nations Conference, and most importantly, participants from around the state of Meghalaya, from the different parts of the Northeast, different states in the country, and also our 3 international delegates. I wish you a very warm evening, and it is my immense pleasure to be in your midst in this closing session of the Model United Nations, the 4th Model United Nations Conference, Shillong edition, being held here in Nehu. What a joy it is to see so many, I think 700 odd, if I'm not mistaken, vibrant, active, young faces. This is a microcosm of our country. And from what I've heard from the organizers, this has been an intense and a fruitful and intellectually stimulating and a very successful 3-day conference in which so much has been spoken, and yet we hear that so much remains to be done. The Meghalaya Model United Nations, through its office holders, have on many times been associated with the Office of the Director of Sports and Youth Affairs, and previously when I was Deputy Commissioner of this district as well, they had on many occasions collaborated with us, and I feel very proud to have such a competent, professional and vibrant organization working for the youth of Meghalaya and the youth of the country as a whole. So at the outset, I'd like to congratulate them and all their partners for having organized such a wonderful conference. Let's give them a big round of applause. From the Department of Sports and Youth Affairs, our Honorable Chief Minister had announced the Meghalaya Youth Policy in 2021, which aims to come up with a cohesive strategy for the upliftment, the empowerment of young people in the state, while acknowledging the fact that youth below the age of 35 form 70% of the state's population, and young people really hold the key to unlocking the potential of Meghalaya. And I believe and I know that this is the case for our region, for our country, and for who will hold the key to making very, very important decisions about the world in which we live in. And I hope conferences such as these will help you take away integral learnings. And I'm also very happy to hear that you have as a topic chosen disrupting the status quo. This is a topic which really, which is cross-sectoral, I think. What exactly is a status quo? Why do we need to disrupt it? I think you must have dwelt on this at length, so I will not elaborate. But I really think that, like I said, we don't have to look far to think of ways in which we can innovate and step outside of the box to ensure that things are better.
He was representing Rajnath Singh. The next is for the UN-CSW committee. We have Bedashruti Das, and her portfolio was United Kingdom. For the Committee of UNODC, it is Nazia Pearl Suping, and her portfolio was Finland. Thank you, sir. I now request Ma'am Isawanda Lalu to hand over the prizes to the following delegates. For the Committee of UNHCR, the best delegate is Yuvraj Deka, and his portfolio was Bangladesh. For the Committee of UNHRC, we have Pragyan Patwari and Syed Ramiz Salman. The best delegate of International Press Corps Journalism is Sanjeevani Chakravarti, and her portfolio was The Wire. Thank you, ma'am. I request Professor J.J. Mozika to present the prizes to the following delegates. For International Press Corps Photojournalism, the best journalist is Kirtiman Sadanand Deka from The Guardian. For International Press Corps caricaturists, the best delegate is Kirtana Upasana Deka from BBC. Thank you so much, ma'am. We now move on to the Best Campus Ambassador. The Best Campus Ambassador of this year is Shivangi Chakravarti from Loreto Convent, and I request our President to give her the present. I also invite Professor Indrajit Dubey. I request our chief guest, Mr. Rakam A. Sangma, Ma'am Isawanda Lalu, and Dr. Andrew Simons to join us to hand over the Best Delegation Award, and this year the Best Delegation goes to Srimanta Shankar Academy from Guwahati. Representatives are requested to come on stage. And also Sir Indrajit Dubey.
Only five of them. Including campus ambassadors. Only those who won and campus ambassadors.
Only the delegates who have won and the campus ambassadors are requested to come on stage. And the rest can wait on the side. The best delegation for Meghalaya Model United Nations 2023 goes to Srimanta Shankar Academy, Guwahati. I request the dignitaries to remain on stage. The most promising institution of the Meghalaya Model United Nations 2023 is Loreto Convent, Meghalaya. The winners and the campus ambassador is requested to come on stage.
The best delegation trophy and the most promising are running trophies and our annual trophies.
The Best Delegation Award and the Most Promising Institution Award are running trophies which we hand over to the best institutions annually in every conference of ours. Thank you, dignitaries. Dr. Indrajit Dubey, Vice-Chancellor of National Law University, Meghalaya, has an expertise in corporate law, corporate governance, and corporate environmental governance, and has shown his dedication to the study and practice of law. Teaching these various subjects over many years in various universities and law schools, he demonstrates commitment to education and sharing his knowledge with others. I request Sir to address the gathering.
Good evening. And such a wonderful to see all of you, so bright, so vibrant, and so energetic. Honorable Education Minister, dignitaries on the dais, my students, fellow colleagues, and all the young students in the dais, of the dais, and all of you who are present in this august hall. I thank you to the organizers, Model United Nations, and we have a several unstructured meeting, I should say. And I loved talking one or other occasion with them. And then we have a bit of a crisis period, and we're wondering, can we hold this particular United Nations as a co-host with NEHO? And then sometime I've also offered them, why can't you hold it in NLU Meg itself? Then we realize we have a lot of resource crunch, because we are a still baby, an only 1 month old university. Last month, 10th July, we have started our journey. And then we thought, why not to keep this aspiration for the next year? So hope next year we could be, standing on our own feet and able to host it. I have been invited, and then there is a letter, and the topic was that I have to speak something on disrupting the status quo, the Gen Youth era. And I was asking him that what should I speak? And he said, you speak what you want to speak. And then I was scratching my head, what should I speak? I love disruption, right? If you want to do something new, if you want to change the status quo, and if you have a dream to build something in the future, you have to be disruptive, right? But disruption should not be understood in a negative sense, but to be in a positive sense. So that means if you are not changing, you are not progressing. And sometimes that change might lead to the disruption, and which might not be very acceptable to all of us, because change is always bring the fears, right? We are going out of whatever known to somewhere which is unknown. But friend, I believe this Jain is a Jain for a disruption. Because you are in the age which is very, very transformative. It is changing very fast. My fellow colleague on the dais, she mentioned about the ChatGPT and large language model. And there is kind of a suspicion and confirmation, suspicion that it is going to steal the jobs which we are doing, how the teaching has to be done tomorrow, and how we should perceive the life tomorrow if all the thing has been done by the machines. But there is also a lot of aspiration within us, because there is a many things which possibly can be done faster, more structured manner, more nicer manner. So the question which is always coming in our mind, is this particular disruption is good? What should be the focus of the Jain youth in the coming days? I believe we can take a reference from the word Jain itself. And I think possibly many of you know that Jain is actually talks about a philosophy which is rooted in the essence of the harmony, balance, and inner tranquility or the peace. And Jain challenges also looks beyond the chaos and discover the tranquility within us. So I believe if we are in a transition and if we are in chaos, then possibly we are also looking for a tranquility, right? More in harmony. And that takes me to the characteristic which I found to my student. And I believe this is very important to brought the attention to all of you. In our time, it was mostly how we can be a successful. So all of us wanted to think that, well, we have to read this X discipline, Y discipline, wanted to get a good job, get a good house, good car, and we have to put ourselves in a more materialistic manner. Nowadays, when I talk with the young student, they bring a totally different perspective. They think, sir, they tells me that, sir, I wanted to be a successful, but I will be at ease. I want to think, I will do the thing in different manner. So that means, what I found, that this, Jain, which is coming, they are technologically very sensitive. They know what is happening. They know there is a lot of chaos around, but at the same time, they want to choose where they feel that they should want to do, which is quite a departure from the thing which we did at our time. So I believe this generation has a better clarity than whatever we had when we are young like you. And I believe that's evidence because of this large number of the gathering, debating on the topics, and you are preparing yourself for tomorrow. Having said that, let me give you some indicator. Possibly you should, think over it. Like, you should be an active listener. It is not necessary that you have to react for everything, but rather to understand that what is going on and what is the takeaway out of that. And possibly, you might have your dream, you might have your story, and then you will try to fit your dream and story with what you are listening and how you can fit yourself into that larger canvas itself. Now, you should be very conscious about the evolving education, in which I believe throughout my life, and I believe you are also believing, that you should know what you want to learn, not what another person asks you to learn, and which we did in our time. Because my father told me, you have to learn X, Y, Z. But I think you should not do that. There should be a disruption in your learning pattern. You should learn what you want to learn. You should position yourself the way you want to position yourself. And I believe in this coming of creative society and creative economy, you have to be a very, very creative. And that creativity might come from different way, not necessary in a particular manner or particular pattern. Now you should collaborate. Collaborate with whom you think to be collaborate. Even I will say, where you are uncomfortable to collaborate there. Because that will bring a lot of opportunity to learn and to create the new thing, new dream, and new story for the coming future. So friend, I will say this Jain youth era is not a fleeting moment in the time, but a profound moment in consciousness. So you are moving towards better consciousness. You are moving towards better world. You are more tranquil than the generation before you. You are more conscious than the generation before you. And regardless of the age or the background, to embrace the life of mindfulness, purpose, and the connection, it calls to a rediscovery, not just our individual selves, but our collective souls. So friends, you have many things before you to give to yourself, to your surrounding, to your society, to your country, and to the world. And I will conclude with the hope that you will be the people who will bring the change, bring the disruption, and bring the meaningful society in the future. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. It is our pleasure to have with us today Shri Rakam A. Sangma, Honorable Minister of Education, Government of Meghalaya. Sir's contributions to the community are commendable, and we are graced by his presence here today. I would like to request Sir to address the gathering.
Very good evening to one and all. Respected here with us, Madam Isa Wanda Lalo, who is a Secretary and a Director, Sports and Youth Affairs, Government of Meghalaya. And here with us, Madam Professor Zize Mozika, Head of Department of Law, Mount Hill University. And here with us, Professor Dubey, who is a Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Ceylon. And with us, Dr. Andrew Simon, here with us is a Commission Secretary, Meghalaya Legislative Assembly. And Sri S.M. Sampliang, as a former bureaucrat and a former MLA, and an advisor to the Government of Meghalaya Education Department. And with us, President of the MUN, Mr. Cooper Mauto, and all the officials, organizers, members, and delegates from different state and different country and different region and different district of the state. I think everyone is impatient to wait for the upcoming cultural program after a very short of time. So I think I will not take much time. And former speakers have already spoken. They are valuable and the golden words to all of you. My congratulations to all the winners and to this organizer for having this beautiful and a successful event. My best wishes to all of you in endeavoring and bringing the youth together. My best wishes to each one of you. You be as a student, be as a social worker, and as assigned in a different responsibility in the days to come. So I met a great personality here. The Vice Chancellor of Law University, Ceylon, and others. In a very light note, there are always four individuals who hardly smile. I think you will experience. The police people, those working in the security, they hardly smile. They don't have time to smile also, sometime. And our medical fraternity, those who are working in the medical department, the doctors, the nurses, hardly have time to smile because they have to deal with the serious patients and all. Because when they're committed on responsibility, they feel they don't have time to smile and to chat with the people. And the advocates, the lawyers also, I think they don't have time to smile also. Because they have to deal with all the aggrieved clients and the people and all. And also, I think our professors here, the judges also, I think they will not have time to smile. Because they have to deal with seriously. But we forget all the time. Sometimes we forget. We think that these people doesn't have time to smile. But they are the people who has been assigned, who are committed in responsibility, who is working to make people smile. Therefore, my friends, I want to tell each one of you, nation and the region and the state will be smile provided we have the good sons and daughters. Young people, you are the people. You are the sons and daughters of the nation who will make the parents and the nation smile. Therefore, I want to request each one of you, as a young individual, as a students, please don't forget your responsibility. Your responsibility is to make your parents smile, your community smile, and your state smile. And young friends of India, and young friends of across the world, it is your responsibility to make the global smile. There may be crises in around, across the globe. There may be the issues that is being on crisis. But young friends, you will bridge the gap. You have to stand in the middle to bridge the gap on the crisis. I met 2, 3 old people. I asked, Grandpa, whom you love most? Your grandchildren's or your daughters? Since Meghalaya is a matrilineal society, we mostly talk about daughters and mothers. So both of them told me, Mr. Rakam, you will remember when you become old. I asked them, Grandpa, whom you love most? Grandchildren's or daughters? They said, Hare, we love more to grandchildren's. They said. So I asked them, how it is, Grandpa? You don't love your daughters? You love more your grandchildren? Then they replied, without my first love to my daughter, I cannot love my grandchildren. They said. Therefore, young friends, and there is one guy used to tell me, the formula of mathematics is not fit to use for love. If you have 6 children, the parents used to love 100% to each one of them. We have only 100%, but for 6 children, they can give 100% love for each one of them. Then the mathematics formula doesn't apply here. So, love does not boundary. Love does not know the political and the geographical boundary. Sania Mirza get married to Said, what's her husband name? Said Akhtar, right? Said Malik. Said Malik. India and Pakistan. Love doesn't know the boundary. Right? But make sure you have to draw your own boundary. What I want to tell each one of you, my friends, there may be crisis in love. There may be crisis in peace and harmony. Therefore, the young generation, the young minds should fill this gap. Therefore, I want to leave some words with all of you, my friends. When there is a violence, when there is a war, when there is no peace, then the people will realize, will understand the meaning of peace. When there is a hungry, you will understand the taste of the different items of the food. When you are lying on the bed, when you are about to die, then you will realize how young life, how the healthy life it is. When you are drug addicted, when you are addicted with the drugs, and there is no way out to be revert back, then you understand how beautiful it was, the young and the glorious life it is. Therefore, my friends, when you are illiterate, then you will understand how the educated life it is. When you are old, you will realize how glorious it was the youth life it is. Friends, though love doesn't have the boundary, but your days and your young times will have the boundary. You will become old. Therefore, in order not to regret in the days to come, when you will become old, if you are not to regret, remember when you have good times, when you are young. John F. Kennedy, the former president of USA, what he said: don't think what your country can do for you, but think what you can do for your great country, what you can do for your country. Young friends and volunteers, I mean the delegates across the globe and across the country, the nation is waiting for your ideas, your thought, and your vision. And the future of any nation, and the future of any state, and the future of any community will decide the ideas of the youth they have today. Therefore, friends, if India is going ahead to be the global, the knowledge power in the globe, if Northeastern region, if Andhra Pradesh, the West Bengal, and the Bihar, and the Myanmar, and Nepal, and the Bangladesh, I think I am just naming only those countries that are here today. If we are to move forward, the young population of this country, the young population of these cities and the states should decide the future of your nation and the future of your state. Therefore, I want to tell you, learn the best idea that you can today. Our great people are here. But the professor, the Chancellor of Nehu spoke. The latest, the youngest IAS officer from Meghalaya, Madam Aisawan Lalu spoke. The brilliant man, Dr. Andrew, the Commissioner Secretary of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, the Minister Speaker already spoken. Look, the idea is coming in, but you have to grab, my friends. Therefore, dear friends, I'm extremely happy to be here this evening. I want to convey my gratefulness to the President and all the organizers, and my best wishes to all of you, young friends and delegates from different states and the different countries. Disrupting the status quo is the theme of this conference, of this seminar. Yes, it may not be impossible to be always at the status quo. There may be change. There may be stages. There may be transition. But as our professor, the Chancellor of the Law University has stated, for new positive development, we should always be ready for any transition. And we should be prepared to design ourselves well. But however, any changes, any disruption to the status quo, which disrupt the society, which will bring the result, the negative side, we should be very careful. Therefore, young friends, on my last note, the technology, the development of science and technology will drive you to the different stages of your life. Therefore, with the challenging scenario of the science and technology generation, we should also prepare ourselves to meet these challenges. Therefore, young friends, I would like to live with a small word. As the love doesn't have the boundary, our ideas, our objective, our vision does not also have any boundary. The best idea, the best technology, the best vision can be shared with a neighboring country and a neighboring state. Young friends, the best idea that you have can be shared to your neighbor and to your friends. Therefore, lastly, I want to reiterate again, young friends, those who are here this evening, as you go back, please remember your responsibility. In all your respect that you do, in all the assignment that you hold as a responsibility, always remember your responsibility is to make your parents, your community, your state, and your country, and the nation, and the world to make smile. Thank you so much. God bless each one of you. My best wishes to all of you. Matela, Jai Hind, God bless everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request our Secretary General, Mme. Kathrina Nonkenry, to provide a brief report about the conference.
Good evening, delegates. Good evening, guests. Our chief guests, Madam Sir Rakam Sangma, Madam Isawanda IAS, Ma'am Musika, Sir Andrew Simmons, and our Vice Chancellor from the National Law University. As I stand here, I am filled with immense pride of how the Meghalaya MUN have come in these 6 years. And right now I'm feeling emotional because I have to end this day through all the hardships that we've gone through. It is hard to end the day, and it's the first time I'm becoming speechless. But all I have to say is I'm very grateful for everyone who has been here, the chairpersons who have helped us get the conference up and running, the chairpersons of UNGA, DISEC, Rushank, Sir Raghav, and our substantive director who was there with them. Our chairperson from UNHRC, Danshu Talukdar, our vice chair, Ashnit Yadav, and also our reporter, Sir Swapnil. Our UNHRC chairperson, Isola, thank you so much, ma'am. Our co-chair, Aditya Sharma, and our reporter, Ms. Palki. Our chairperson from UNCSW, Ma'am Ananya and Madam Sanibha, thank you so much for helping us. Our chairperson from UNODC, Madam Saru and Madam Shrishti. Our chairperson from UNSC, Sir David, and our moderator, Shah Sonak. Join our chairperson from JPS, Sir Akshat Mohan Awasthi. Vice Chair, Yash, thank you so much. And as well as Taiwan, thank you so much. Our chairperson from the AIPPM, Sir Pragyan, who's always been there with us since the very beginning of Meghalaya MUN, as well as Sir Parthiv, thank you so much for being here, and as well as Madam Archita, who's helped them throughout the 3 days, as well as the editor-in-chief, Madam Anwesha, who's helped me so much, and our photojournalist head, Sir Aryan Lahon, as well as Sir Anirban, the head of caricaturists. This conference would have been a success without these people standing in front, helping us, understanding the problems that we are going through. So I'd like everyone to please applaud for them one more time. The conference would have also been a complete failure without my lovely co-members as well as the members of the Secretariat, our President, Sir Meshakupar Mautho, our Executive Director, Sir Ritwik Buyan, our CDC, Sir Sameling Ra, Madam Ankita, Sir Frederick, Sir Adrian, our USG head, Sir Gaurav, Palki, Anwesha, Namrata, Arpita, Sir Shimon Shulai, Madam Christina, Sir Swapnil, Evangeline, Wendy, Drishti, Paul, Benedict, Sylvester, Anuran, Eddie, Iba, Sam, A1Me, IT, Senrita, Dorang, Mandy, Nafisa, Isaac, and Lucky. If you are seeing us standing and holding this 700 plus people, it is all because of the hard work of these people who have always backed us, backed me especially whenever we have a decision to make. They've always had my back, and I'm grateful for these people who've shared this dream with us, with me and the core secretariat. A huge round of applause once again for the secretariat members. As we sit in this room today, we represent not only our diverse backgrounds and culture, but also the hopes and dreams of generations to come. This is what's sticking to what we have, our team this year, that is disrupting the status quo, hashtag the Gen Youth era. So the debates, the negotiations, and the resolutions that we have discussed in this past 3 days, let it not go to waste. Let it inspire all of the delegates who have sat down, discussed, debated, deliberated, so that let it help us become the change barriers and the change makers in the society. Remember that our purpose transcends mere simulation. We have our channel, our creativity, our intellect, and our empathy towards finding solutions to global problems. As delegates, we have the ability of an MUN that gives us a unique opportunity to embrace perspective different from your own, to bridge the diverse backgrounds, and to envision a world where cooperation triumphs over conflict. Throughout history, it has been the courage and conviction of young leaders like you and me that has made massive and impactful changes in the society. We stand from one shoulder to another of those who dared to challenge the status quo, who refuse to accept the world as it is and instead strive to make it a better world, and it is what it could be. Your presence in this room signifies your ability to understand the difference that we, the youth, can make to becoming part of the transformative policy. Let us approach to what we believe in making and becoming the change barriers. With this 3 days of conference, let it help us strive to make ourselves better as individuals. No matter what the results have come out from each and every committee, let it be a hope, and let it give you the determination to strive harder and to participate in more upcoming MUNs. Let opportunities like this trigger you so that you may challenge yourself to become change makers and that one barrier that will make a difference in this whole entire earth. Remember that we have a vision, and it is at us, it is the stake of winning, and it is for the pursuits of solutions that will best reflect our collective interests. As the Secretary General, my vision for this conference is of one respect, that is collaboration and inspiration. Let us be respectful to other opinions, let us be respectful to other viewpoints, and let us have a collaborative spirit in bringing the change that we intend to see. With this, I would like to invite again all of my secretariat members, right from Sir Meshwa. Please join me as I call all of your names. President Sir, Sir ED, CDC Sir, please hurry up, rush to the stage. Ankita, Frederick, Adrian, Gaurav, Palki, Anwesha, Arpita, Shimon, Christina, Swapnil, Evangeline, Wendy, Drishti, Paul, Benedict, Sylvester, Anuran, Eddie, Iba, Sam, Iwanmi, IT, Sandrita, Dorang, Mandy, Nafisa, Isaac, and Lucky. It's okay, it's okay. I'd like you all to please join me on stage. And Laksh, please join us on stage. Laksh, I'm so sorry. He's been running all around, so I didn't see him, though he wore a very bright yellow kurta. I'm so sorry, Laksh. I ask everyone to please hold one another hand. Let's just keep quiet, okay? I'm so sorry. With this, all of them joining hands along with me. I, the Secretary General of Meghalaya Model United Nations, second time in a row, declare this conference closed. Thank you so much, everyone. Delegates, I have an important announcement. An important announcement. The other awards will also be given after this, so I request you all to please not hurry and do not disperse from the auditorium. Thank you so much. We will follow with the cultural ceremony. Thank you so much again to everyone who has been here with us, and please clap for yourselves, delegate, because you've done yourself wonder and you should be proud of whatever you've achieved till this moment. Thank you so much, one and all.
I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे